Good morning. For my searching and innovative uses for technology, cases one and two, I am going to be presenting this in the form of a Prezi. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and go into the presentation mode and kind of start explaining both my cases and kind of giving some examples of why I selected the topic that I did. So what I did was, for my rationale, I really focused on e-portfolios, digital portfolios. Same, they're all one and the same. You know, it's important in organizing your work in one space that can typically be accessed using multiple devices. So that's case number one. Case number two, you're going to see an example of using Weebly for education for a student, myself, to create an e-portfolio. So what is a digital or e-portfolio? And in its simplest terms, it's a computer-based collection of one's performance over time. Portfolios can range from being used by students in storing their academic work, administrators using it to collect staff and student work, even along with administrators or others using it for their own personal and professional work. So some of the different types of digital portfolios, there are multimedia portfolios. Obviously, I've already talked about an e-portfolio, web folios. The bottom line is they all work in a digital format. And so some of the places that you can create digital portfolios, but this is a very limited list. EduClipper is a resource dropper. Research on Google Sites is very popular resource, and you will see me choose one in terms of Weebly education being how I'm going to demonstrate how to develop. I'm going to say it's simple, but it took me a little while to do an e-portfolio. So the types of resources you need: a Mac PC, iPad, Chromebook. That's important. Your infrastructure, especially if you're in the classroom or you're trying to do a school-wide implementation of devices, and your portfolios, let's say, are all due on one day. You need to make sure you have the appropriate bandwidth and infrastructure to handle that kind of traffic, so that students who are presenting, it doesn't get so traffic jammed because you don't have enough bandwidth that presentations freeze right in the middle of students speaking or trying to demonstrate what their portfolio looks like. So other resources on campus, obviously a computer lab that can be used during the day after school. You need to be able to have certain resources, and that's depending on your location. What are some advantages, disadvantages? They can be created using different resources. I've already saw Dropper, EduClipper, Weebly for education. Can be shared by colleagues and peers, easily shared in school, during school hours, outside of school hours. Could be used for collaboration on assignments by students, collaboration by teachers, by administrators. Some of the disadvantages is that it does require varying technology skills. I mean, you need to know where your documents are. You need to know how to kind of keep them all in one place if you're trying to develop an e-portfolio. But knowing where everything is, then videos. If you want to put a video in there, how do you transfer videos into YouTube formats? Sometimes some things that do take time. Even though when you look at the finished product, you don't know the behind the scenes time that it takes. So teachers need to take in consideration those disadvantages that some students may bring to the project. Some effective strategies, and these are just a very few, is if you're trying to encourage and enhance creativity and critical thinking skills, an e-portfolio is a great vehicle for that. But you would need to have specific learning outcomes that are clear in terms of what they look like. So having sample e-portfolios is important for students to see and get a strong idea of what those what their possible finished product could look like. Teacher collaboration. Like I said before, easily be shared by teachers, not just within a grade level or at one school, but it could be shared district-wide. So if districts are using Google Apps, if they're using Canvas as learning management systems to house everything, portfolios can all be stored there. That can be easily shared. If you want to share abroad, especially if you're using the web-based sites such as I will be showing later on, like Weebly, this thing you could show this worldwide. So case number 2. In case number 2, you're going to see me use Weebly for Education in creating an e-portfolio. You're going to see an example. I'm only going to show a little bit, but an example YouTube video, kind of a quick how-to, which a teacher can use to show a classroom. They could either pull that from YouTube, the YouTube resource, or if they're very good, they can actually create their own YouTube video on kind of a how-to. So again, in the end product, the description is students will create an e-portfolio using Weebly for Education. And the purpose for this case is to demonstrate an example of a website building resource, which it's Weebly in this case, that can be used to create an e-portfolio. So I'm going to go ahead and start. This is the demonstration that I found on YouTube. There are myriad of demonstrations on just Weebly alone. Some quick, some short. Some quick, some long, all on different topics of Weebly. So let's go ahead and play this. I'll try and make sure the volume's turned down. So I will try and explain a little bit of this as you're going through this. So
hey guys,
turn it up just a second so you can hear it.
Today I'm going to show you how to build a Weebly portfolio in 5 minutes. Here I'm on the Weebly login page, so let's get started.
Okay, so this gentleman
logging in will bring you to this
is showing how to
see my
develop a Weebly page in 5 minutes. And if I were to show this all the way through,
a normal site,
which I will not,
and a store, and for a portfolio,
what you'll see is he'll take you step by step using
and I'm going to go for one I've
a photography portfolio as the example. And this is him finding a demonstration site. Weebly allows you to have these different sites that you can choose as kind of your front page. As you can see, creating your own domain, very simple. And when you're starting, you may want to use the free version. It does offer you a lot of options without having to buy any of the other more advanced levels. And see, what you're going to see him do is just start editing. Instead of it's my site, he's going to give it a name. It's going to be Kaya's portfolio. Then what he's going to do is he's just kind of taking you through the different buttons. And Weebly again allows you to customize with images, with text. It just has many different features, and especially in the free version, it has that. So let's see if I can fast forward this through just touch.
And as you can see, this window has popped up here.
Show you what he's doing.
I can change the
I want to show how he
and so forth.
Possibly embeds a picture. So what you're seeing is he's moving the gallery icon over. And this gallery icon, just like if you had YouTube icon, it allows you to have access to your photos, your videos that are on your computer or on the web. So if it's YouTube, it'll take you to the YouTube site.
Quite quickly, and it has.
And what you're seeing is this is how long it's taken him to upload. It's very quick.
And that's happened quite
It's
fast, so that's nice to see.
a very easy site.
Now that my homepage is done, I'm
to
going to
do
go
this. So
to my About page
I'm
here.
going to get out of this point and move on. And so what I'm trying to do in terms of the format of the actual assignment that we did, so I'm going to try and encapsulate the resources, the skills, the products, the steps, demonstrating all this by hoping to show you how I've gone through my own development of a portfolio. And, hopefully as I go through this, you'll see the advantages. And again, some of the disadvantages. This does take time to create. This took me some time to create in terms of making sure all the links and buttons, even when you look at the YouTube videos, the how-tos, you really have to pay attention to those, or you'll get a little frustrated. And sometimes when you have to convert videos into a YouTube format, you need to make sure you know how to do that. You need to be able to find the resources to do that. So be thinking about that with your, as you do this with your students. So let's take a look at this. So this is not going to be my finished product. This is really an example. So I have my home button. This is my home page. So let's press the course artifacts. And so this is, as an example, some of our EDU courses. So there's, remember the tagline we have in our PB Works, our own personal PB Works, EDU 709. Dr. Ming, that's for you. And then here's a short screencast that I've done in a prior project in terms of a digital story. We had to create a digital story. On top of that, we also had to, with this digital story, do it in a screencast format. So Future Ready. Future Ready is it's a nationwide initiative. And our district is considered a Future Ready district. I was fortunate to be one of 100 superintendents to go to the White House a couple of years ago. Really, I lucked out. It was really based on the work that my former superintendent, I just took over, and I got invited. So I was not one of the top 100 superintendents at the time. I'm still not. I think I got very lucky. But these are videos that I had actually had to convert this moonshot video. It's a motivational video about really thinking outside the box. And here's a Future Ready video that I had helped put together when we were going around and talking with other superintendents and other districts about becoming a Future Ready district. And so when you relate this to a student, this is just really showing you one of my examples of what I've used to kind of highlight some of my favorite artifacts. And so that's under Future Ready. Here's my leadership button. And this actually could have gone under course artifacts also, but this is a specific video that I had in for EDU 642. That was one of my projects that I turned in. So, but it was something that I was proud of because this actually took a little while. This was actually a 50-minute video that had been taken that I needed to bring that into iMovies and then kind of do some things with that and learn that, and came out with this 3-minute version. Very simple looking, but this took me hours to do. So that's something I'm pretty proud of. The Oceanside Promise. This is a district initiative. So if you go to www.oceansidepromise.org, and I'm saying that because it's really near and dear to my heart. I'm from Oceanside. I grew up here, went to all the schools. I love this town, and I want to do as many really good things for our students and families as I can. But this was something of a dream of mine to hopefully for people to get on board, to believe in the Oceanside Promise. This was the actual first video in front of all of my leadership, about 120 people, the first day of my superintendency. And so we've come a long way. If you go to the site, you'll see we've made a lot of leeway. getting a lot of really, really good attention on behalf of our students and kids. So these are some of the, this is my example. I'm going to actually go back and really do more to this and really make this my own. But this is something that can be used by teachers, by students, that really could take advantage of using an e-portfolio for an assignment, for a project, for as a reflection tool. For me, it's going to be more reflection at this point. But if I want to make it an assignment, I can make some adjustments. And Weebly also allows you to make many different websites. I mean, the more you want to make, you may have to pay, but it allows you to make several websites for free. And so I can customize those things on Weebly. Again, these can be shared by teachers, by districts, collaboration. So that is my example of using Weebly as an e-portfolio. Let me get out of this and go back. And I think I am done. Thank you for listening.